Hello, my name is Jade Bolden, and this message is for my spiritually mature soul sisters. My soul sisters love God and desires to be obedient to Him. You have a motherly heart that desires to serve and nurture others, right? You hunger for the freedom and joy you get from an understanding of truth. Okay, you crave personal development gems to help you become more like Christ. So if that is you, then you are in the right place. So please continue watching. In all my videos, I talk about using the pure and powerful essential oils from doTERRA. So to me, they are like a sermon in a bottle, okay, to help us make the needed daily changes on all the levels. So that's mind, body, and spirit. It helps us raise our vibrations to support us as we make the needed changes to refine ourselves and to get rid of false traditions and then adopt the pure culture of Christ. So my ultimate goal is to create a powerful community of earth angels preparing people to meet Christ when He comes again. I truly believe this, and this is why I make videos like this one. So this video is called How to Get Rid of Doubt and Indecisiveness for Good, okay? And it's an energy balancing with faith topic. So what I do is called energy balancing, okay? Helping people balance themselves, okay? Realign themselves basically. So this is the overview of what we're going to talk about today. So I just want to share with you what Heavenly Father has inspired me to share with you. So I hope you like it. It's my divine downloads. So hopefully it'll be helpful to you. Our ultimate goal is self-awareness and awakened. Okay, we just need to stay focused and remember that's what we want to do. So in all the things that we do here, right, all the things we're going to talk about today, it's for this end, okay, for us to be awake and empowered. All right, and that's why we're discovering these other things about ourselves, okay? So when we're awakened, what does that mean? It means you are aware of your feelings, your thoughts, and your beliefs. You know what that is, okay? On the spiritual level, on the subconscious level, just kind of awaken to it. You're awakened to your divine identity, and then you feel empowered that you're able to choose and create, okay? So you just remember who you are as a child of God. You see yourself as God sees you, with love and acceptance. You choose not to blame anymore and not to benefit from being a victim, okay? Sometimes people like to stay a victim because there's so many benefits, right? You choose not to benefit anymore, okay? You want to become spiritually mature, okay, by responding with divine wisdom, things that you've been inspired to do. A lot of people tell me they feel calmer. They feel more confident, okay? We humbly allow ourselves to be divinely guided when we're awakened and aware. So God will guide us every day. We just need to align our will to Him. We will feel empowered, fulfilled, and we will experience spiritual growth. And we will create powerfully as victors, okay, as we allow our influence to expand. Okay, so we're not going to be satisfied with just taking care of ourselves. We really want to help others. And then, of course, when we're there and we're more awakened, we really want to intentionally live a sweet and focused and simple and fulfilled and purposeful life, regardless of what's happening in the world. So hopefully that's what you want as well. Okay, so let's move on. Now let's talk about doubt and indecision. Let's just kind of look at the definition really quickly. Okay, doubt is to be uncertain about something, to question something. I mean, it's all right to question, but too much, okay? And then to hesitate too much, okay? Because you don't want to believe right away. You feel a distrust regarding something, or you're suspicious of something. So that's doubt, okay? And indecision is just not able to make decisions, inability to decide. Today, we want to do the opposite. We want to get rid of the doubt and get rid of the indecision and make better choices quickly and confidently with lots of trust. So first of all, we need to talk about the negative results of indecision and doubtfulness. Sometimes people don't see that it's too bad, and so they hold on to it, and so they don't want to change. Okay, we want people to change. All right, so let's look at this. When you are very indecisive and very doubtful all the time, you lack personal growth and maturity. Okay, you stress and worry too much, you overthink too much, you feel anxious all the time, and you're unhappy and unfulfilled. So that's not fun, is it? You miss out on opportunities. You lack confidence and security. Okay, and you lack that firm foundation anchored in God, anchored in truth. Okay, and that means you can't lead people well. So those parents that say, hey, my kids don't want to listen to me, they don't want to do what I tell them to do. Well, maybe because you don't have this firm foundation, you're not anchored, so people are not really confident in you because you're not confident in yourself. Okay, and others don't respect you. Okay, and then we have these struggles where, hey, they're not listening to me, right? Guess what? If we don't consciously, intentionally make decisions, then we allow the universe to make decisions for us. We get default. And a lot of times the default isn't fun. And we live in mediocrity. All right. So for me, that's not fun. Okay. So really, we need to understand how negative the indecision and doubtfulness is. When we're indecisive and doubtful, we are overly attached to people. Okay, we want people to make the decisions for us, all right, and then, or give us advice too much, and then we get disappointed, okay, because maybe it's not what we want, not what we think we want, it doesn't nail it. Because of that, we start blaming, okay, and blaming means giving away our power. She said this and I did it and it didn't work, blah, blah, okay, and we have low quality relationships because you don't know who you are. People don't know who you are because you haven't decided who you are. And so how can we have a deep relationship? Can't, okay? Others can't fully depend or rely on you because you don't fully commit. So you're going to come or go. You're going to be on time or not. Are you going to grow or not grow? Where are you going? Okay? You see what I mean? And you have a hard time feeling the reward of accomplishments because it wasn't you. You didn't do it. Okay, it just kind of happened, and then you haven't fully been involved in that process. So as parents, we don't want to rob our kids of that full joy of accomplishment. Okay, we want them to create things and feel like they did it. Okay, and that's why understanding this stuff really is important. Okay, not feeling fully empowered and happy. Okay, because we don't know how to draw from the energy source that we have inside of us, and we don't know how to draw from the energy source outside of us from Heavenly Father. All right, so this means you might have a low immunity. The people that tell me that they catch stuff easily, right, because they don't have any boundaries or, strong boundaries, because we haven't decided what kind of boundaries we want, okay? The boundaries are kind of flaky and, they're not committed to it. Okay, people have leg and hip problems. Moving forward hurts. Big decisions, the hips is making big decisions. That's kind of scary. So they hold on and they stay still, stay put. Right? We have gut problems because we're not sharing the energy with the rest of our bodies. We are concentrating that energy in our heads and just thinking and overthinking and stressing and worrying. Sometimes we think stressing and worrying keeps us safe, but it doesn't. Okay, God keeps us safe. Right, so these people experience gut problems. And of course, headaches. So that's a given, right? When you're in your head a lot and things go around and around in circles, yes, you're going to hurt yourself. And then heart problems. One of the biggest diseases in the world is heart disease, right? Because you don't know how it feels to have a greater degree of joy. So I hope that after seeing this list, you think, oh, you know what? It is kind of negative to be very indecisive and doubtful. Okay, but let's understand why. Why are we indecisive and doubtful? Okay, so this is what I think it is, what I believe it is, what Heavenly Father told me what it is. Okay, so the number one reason for me, that I got is you don't feel God's love. Okay, and because of that, you're not guided, you don't feel protected. Okay, so that's why we're indecisive, because it's not safe to make decisions. So if you're in that space, I recommend you use a lot of rose oil, okay? The next thing is fearful beliefs, thoughts, and habits. Okay, we're so used to doubting, we're so used to asking questions, we are not used to saying, oh, yes, why not me, okay? The first response is, oh, no, I can't. and then you start finding reasons why, okay? Because it's a natural response for you, right? So there's all these fears that you need to resolve. How about perfectionism? Sometimes people, they want to do it right the first time, okay? And not ever make mistakes. And then if they do it right, then they'll be happy, okay? So that means if they're not going to do it right, they hold their happiness out of reach, okay? So sometimes we freeze because if we know that we can't do it perfectly the first time, we don't do anything at all right? So that creates a lot of indecision and doubt, okay? Lack of faith, just not trusting in God, right? Not trusting He'll catch you. Hang on, He's given you this instruction. Let's just do it, okay? And overly relying on yourself. Well, like, I don't understand that. I don't know how to do that, and actually feeling alone because you really don't feel that God's there for you, okay? And you haven't taken the time to fully connect your heart to God and develop strong testimony in God. Sometimes people say, yes, I believe. Yes, I have faith. But have you taken the time to develop that relationship, to talk to Him, okay, to do stuff with Him that really helps build a firm foundation? The other reason is we haven't committed to understand God's intelligence, love, and caring nature. So have we dug into it and researched it in the scriptures? Have we asked Him lots and lots of questions? Sometimes people say, well, I don't know. I don't get the answers. Well, have you asked? No, I haven't. Well, let's ask and do some discovery, okay? The other reason is not trusting in your heart compass. When you feel this burning sensation in your heart, and then you feel this feeling in your gut, you don't trust it. You're like, what's that, okay? So if you have that issue, use geranium oil, okay? And I forgot to say, if you are a perfectionist, try to use HD Clear, okay? That's a really good blend to accept imperfection. Don't have your own opinions about things. So you just haven't decided on where you stand. You need to be liked by everyone, so you want to be yeses for everyone, and yes on this side and yes on this side. I agree with both of you. Okay, well, we can't do that. We need to decide for ourselves. Fear of making mistakes, fear of failing or getting hurt or embarrassed or being criticized. This is you beating yourself up, you criticizing yourself. So you're actually really afraid of yourself. Okay, and I'll talk more about this later on as well, okay? Lacking courage, okay, in facing the consequences and being accountable for your choices. So what if you make the wrong choice? Are you going to be courageous enough to own it? Okay, own the results. Sometimes people are so afraid of owning, okay? But that's the reason why we have indecisiveness, okay, and doubt. The other reason is people haven't chosen to fully own their power to choose because they don't know or recognize that that power belongs to them. Let's talk about why we should be decisive and trusting. In the courses that I teach, I talk about the levels of consciousness as we raise our vibrations, as we change ourselves. We are more like God, okay? We experience more peace and we can do more things, have extraordinary outcomes, peak performance without stress. So this is why, okay? So basically it's personal development, right? On all the levels, we will heal and change on all the levels, mind, body, and spirit. We are building Christ-like attributes and characteristics, okay? We're gonna be like Christ. The reason why we want to be decisive and trusting is because we want to create that extraordinary outcome in our lives, all right? We want to be happy, joyful, and fulfilled. We want to become a leader and a great example to others, okay? We want our children to trust us and to follow us, right? We want to be healthy and have vitality, all right? So it's not just having good health, it's great health, okay? And of course, we talked about that synchronicity with God. As we raise our vibration, we hear Him, we flow with the changes in the world with His guidance constantly. And then we can create deeper, stronger relationships with others. And that's really important, okay? We allow ourselves to have the freedom of choice. And so we allow others to have the freedom of choice because we are free. Okay, so your children, they won't feel manipulated. Your friends won't feel pressured, because you come from that balanced energy flow. Okay, so when you speak and you share and you make suggestions, no one's going to feel like there's just so much pressure, okay, from you, okay, that, pushiness. You don't need to rely on others to make decisions for you. You need to make your own decisions. You can ask people for their opinions, but at the end of the day, you get to choose and own your decisions. The other reason is it helps you stay focused on your life's purpose. You're not going to get distracted. Okay, you won't get distracted. That's the beauty. In my Energy Balancing with Faith course, I also teach this. I teach about the order of alignment to God. Most people, they lead with their head. So they think things through. But guess what? We are limited by the number of years that we've lived and experiences that we've had and the learning that we've gained. That's still limited. But if we want to access the infinite intelligence and light of God, we really have to feel him with our hearts, because that's where he starts his communication to us. Okay, so you feel it in your heart, all right, and you confirm with your gut. And then in your mind, you must make the decision to choose to move forward in that space. Okay, even if it's a small decision, you just choose and commit. And as you move forward with faith, this is actually what faith is, right? Understanding will come in your mind. Okay, so that's the order of alignment. So don't expect to know everything before you act. Okay, most of the time you'll feel it and you'll confirm it with your gut and you'll say, I don't know why, I don't understand all of this, but I need to do this. Okay, that's what I know. And then reasoning will come after. So in Proverbs 3:5, we read, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not unto thine own understanding. God doesn't say, hey, don't think and don't be smart, but God says, here, lead with the heart first. Okay, trust me because I will give you new information for new situations that you're facing. Okay, so then we don't have to draw from our old information, as we face new situations. So God's plan is to place us here on earth to succeed. Okay, let's be confident in God's confidence. He wouldn't have sent us here if we couldn't succeed, right? So let's be still and feel our heart and gut instincts. The sensation of our hearts will grow stronger the more you learn how to feel it. Okay, I teach my children this. There's one thing I can teach my children before I die, or if I happen to die tomorrow, right, is this. Okay, if they feel it and they are obedient to God on a daily basis, they're going to be fine. We're going to meet up, okay? You see, this is so important. And sometimes you need to be patient with God. And sometimes God tells you to wait and be patient yourself because it's not the right time. In your mind, you might want to override things and say, well, let's do it now. But be careful. Just feel. And daily obedience to God will help you understand this true order of alignment, okay? So if your heart is not fully aligned to God, he invites you to surrender and sort out the priorities of your heart. Okay, this means that if you understand this Energy Balancing with Faith course that I teach, this means you need to do your own version of the Abraham and Isaac challenge. Okay, you need to learn to surrender certain things. He will ask you to surrender stuff that you hold dear. Okay, and it is uncomfortable at first. It is painful, but it's all for our own good. And in the end, we get everything back and more. All right. So the feelings grow stronger the more we practice feeling. Okay. In the world, people say, hey, use your head, use your head. Please change that culture. Use your heart. If you read stories, autobiographies, and biographies of amazing, successful people, you'll find that they will say things like they just feel it and they did something that they just felt like they needed to do, okay? And things happened, okay? They didn't have all the reasons and they didn't have all the understanding or the foresight at the time, but they are glad that they followed that instinct. Now, let's talk about fears versus faith. We must live by faith and not by fear. And that's Quentin L. Cook. One of the reasons why people are indecisive and doubtful is because they fear failure and mistakes. Sometimes failure and mistakes to them means they're bad or something. I tell my friends and my children that failure and mistakes are a necessary part of accelerated learning. Okay, we're just going to learn faster. Okay, so nothing to it. We need to make mistakes. Sometimes people are afraid of pain and feeling hurt. Well, guess what? You're designed to experience pain so you can know joy. So you are not going to break, okay? The atonement of Christ heals and compensates all. So accept that refining fire, okay? Feel it, face that feeling. It is uncomfortable, but we will grow from it, okay? Another reason why people don't want to make decisions is they are fearful of embarrassment and shame. What that means is they allow other people's opinions of them to define them, okay? So what I tell people is you answer only to God, okay? Other people's opinion is none of your business. Sometimes one person might have multiple opinions and they're all conflicting sometimes, okay? You're not going to answer to them at the end of your days, but you're going to answer to God, okay? So feel Him, be obedient to Him, and let them make their own choices. Some people are afraid of making decisions because they're afraid that things might get worse. Well, what if things get better? And remember, you can handle any trial. All the experiences can be consecrated for your own growth. Some people feel overwhelmed about making decisions. They don't like making decisions. They think they can't do it. But really, we're overwhelmed because we think we have to do it alone, or we have to do it all now and immediately. But we can remember that with God, we can do all things. Let's remember that we're not alone and that we don't need to do it all by ourselves and all at once and immediately, okay? With God, I can. Remember that. You just need to take one step at a time and focus your success on progression and the journey, not on the end results. If you're going to build a wall, okay, you need to just focus on one brick at a time. And guess what? All these pains from all these fears, it actually helps us change, okay? It helps us know that there's something there that needs to be corrected. So remember, between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space, there's your power to choose. So if you chose a negative response, then you can pause and say, hey, what's my thoughts and beliefs that has led me to making that negative decision? Okay, and you get an opportunity to improve yourself. Faith is not only a principle of action, but of power also in all intelligent beings, whether in heaven or on earth. So remember, you have the power to choose, okay, and to choose faith. An abiding faith becomes an anchor to our lives. Okay, and that's Thomas S. Monson, and the other one is Joseph Smith. This means that our fundamental human need of certainty is satisfied. Okay, so if you have yourself anchored in God, then what people do, what people say, it doesn't shake or stir you. Does that make sense? If you're shaken and stirred, then you haven't fully anchored. Okay, so there's an invitation to anchor even more. So let's focus on progression over comfort. I tell people this all the time, be proactive and not passive. Okay, God's ultimate purpose is our progression, okay, is our progress. That's D. Todd Christofferson. God is more concerned about our progression than our comfort. Just remember that, okay? Discomfort or divine discontent can compel us to change, and greater comfort will come after we put forth the effort. Okay, so I tell people that if you focus on comfort, you're not going to get it. But if you focus on progression, you're going to get comfort. Okay, sometimes things are new. So the newness can be uncomfortable at first because it's unfamiliar. Right? We're not used to it, but we will always adjust to it eventually. Okay, so most fears, remember, are actually imagined. The discomfort you think you might get, a lot of times it's imagined. So just remember that, okay? We're making stuff up in our minds. It's not really here. And if you have done my Energy Balancing with Faith course, you can use the fear setting activity anytime you feel uncomfortable or fearful, okay? So even in our trials, we can experience joy and peace. Okay, that's Robert D. Hales. And here's a wonderful quote: "You can't let your past hold your future hostage," by LL Cool J. Now look, remember you have those three voices in your head, the good and the bad, and there's you. Okay, the good is God, angels, his spirit, okay, telling you all the good stuff about you, about where to go, what to do. And then Satan says, well, remember, you've messed up before, and remember the past, and remember your shame, and remember all of these things, okay? You get to choose which voice to follow. And sometimes if you adopt Satan's voice as your own, it's very hard to let it go, okay? So God will never talk disparagingly about you. So if you say to yourself, oh, I'm the worst, this is bad, I'm shameful, and da-da-da-da, that's not really God's voice. And if you've adopted as your own, it's really hard for you to get rid of it. So remember, if you hear it and you say those things about yourself, you can say, hey, whoa, that's not me. I wouldn't say that about me, and God wouldn't say that about me. So, hey, rebuke, go away, right? Not thinking that anymore, not talking about that anymore, okay? So just remember that. Your past cannot hold your future hostage, okay? Sometimes people are hesitant, doubtful, and indecisive because they think that that's a sign of humility. So let's just clarify what true humility is and what false humility is. Okay, so true humility is being teachable, acting quickly and confidently, trusting in God's goodness. If God says, do this, you say, okay, right? False humility is self-reducing and doubting, no, I'm the worst, I'm too this, I'm too that, I can't this, okay? Doubting yourself. That's false humility, okay? It is not humility at all right? It's focusing on you. True humility helps you speak up and speak out calmly but boldly. False humility makes you hide and hold yourself back, worried and focused on pains and discomforts. Okay, that's false humility. True humility means you have an outward mindset. You think about other people and focus on the greater good of humanity and about the spiritual farsightedness. You say, yes, well, guess why not me? But false humility is an inward mindset. You think about yourself a lot, okay? You fear what other people might think of you because you haven't made a decision who you really are, right? And what your role is on earth, okay? And how you want to commit to God. You haven't, all right? So you say, who, me? Oh, I'm not enough. I can't do that. All right, so when God asked me to write my book and my courses, I was like, oh boy, whew, I'm kind of scared, but I will do it. I will do it anyways, okay? Because the world changes constantly and dramatically, but God, his commandments and promised blessings do not change, okay? They are immutable and unchanging, okay? That's Elder L. Tom Perry. Now, that means that I can anchor myself in God, knowing that whatever he tells me to do and I do it, I'm going to be fine, okay? Things will go well, all right? According to God, of course, okay? We can anchor ourselves in God. We can trust him, trust that he will bless us when we are obedient, and he will bless us in whichever way he wants to, okay? And it may not look like what you expect, and that's okay. So I think of the prophets. How are they humble? Okay, so here's a picture of Noah and his ark. Okay, he's building his ark, and Noah was told to tell the people to repent, to get ready for this big flood, right, whenever it's going to come. And, people laughed at him, but he still spoke out and spoke up. So if God asks us to say something or do something, just let's do it, okay? Let's just trust him and let the chips fall where they may. Another tip that I want to share with you to help you be more decisive is to focus on degrees of light. So what does that mean? Okay, it means that we need to ask ourselves which choice feels best. which choice feels like it's got most light. And most of our decisions is actually not between bad and good. It's actually between good and good. All right. So we get to have a conversation with ourselves and with God about which one feels better. Okay. So you can decide which one's good and which one's better and which one's best. Okay. There is your freedom to choose there. Okay. God doesn't tell you everything, but you get to try it and pretend that you did. Pretend that you made a choice, because all of these choices are pretty good. You know, it doesn't really matter which ones, but you made a choice anyways. So when you make a choice, if things come easily and it falls into place, that's the right choice, because you see that things get brighter and brighter. Okay. But if you made a choice and things get darker and more difficult, you know, you feel this darkness, you know, and all this resistance, then it's time to stop and maybe reconsider other options. Okay. So I tell people that we need to stay in the light, but be okay with the gray at first. So what that means is we all want black or white. We want yes or no. Okay. But sometimes we have to start in the gray. So things are gray and you're not sure. What God wants you to do is use your intelligence and just make a choice. And as you make good choices, things get brighter and brighter and brighter, and you know you're heading the right direction. If things get darker and darker, well, it's an opportunity for you to turn around and move towards the light. That's basically it. I really like that analogy, because sometimes our choices are small choices. They're not profound, earth-shaking experiences. Okay, they're just little ones. Okay, and it kind of adds to the light that you pick up as you move forward. So here's a scripture for you. I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So God's telling us, look for the light. Okay, grow your light. We're going to get brighter and brighter, and we can reflect his light in our countenance as well. It says here, that which is of God is light, and he that receiveth light and continueth in God receiveth more light, and that light groweth brighter and brighter until the perfect day. So light to me means understanding, means power, means love from God. Okay, so we can increase it as we practice. If you don't already know about the Slight Edge, I want to introduce this book to you. Okay, it's by Jeff Olson, but basically what he talks about is just doing the small, simple, good actions, just one action at a time. They're very easy to do, okay, and they're very easy not to do. And as we do it more and more, we become more comfortable because we're used to it, okay? And for those people who are fearful, who are indecisive, who sit back and stay in that comfort zone, slowly the discomfort finds them, okay? And then they will be amongst the 95 people who are uncomfortable in their failure, okay? And as you move forward, making one small good choice at a time, you'll get to elevate yourself and progress and be the 5% of the people who are successful. Okay, so it's easier and easier the more you practice, and the comfort follows the good choices, remember. And if we continue to clean our body, have a healthier body, it helps us choose better as well. Okay, we have more mental clarity, okay, and we feel more. So this means we're successful in all areas. It's not just the one area. Okay, we will be financially successful in our health, in our business, in our personal development, in our relationships, the whole lot. So if we make small changes towards the light in all of these areas, we will be successful, okay? When we are committed to Christ, we are committed to daily change. You might think that it's taking forever and you don't really see the results. If you pause and you look back, on average, those small and simple steps have brought you further than you have ever imagined. Okay, so there's a lot of success if you just look back and see. Okay, but continue to move forward doing the small and simple things. The other reason why people are indecisive and doubtful is because they have this critic inside of them. So let's talk about the critic versus the coach and cheerleader. So if you've seen the movie Ratatouille, the critic, he's always looking for what's wrong, right? If you are that person for yourself, okay, you may not like you very much, okay? So whenever you mess up, you beat yourself up and, it's very hard to accept yourself and love yourself when you're so mean to yourself, okay? So instead, I invite you to fire the critic and hire the cheerleader, okay? Or what coach or whatever you like. Because in my mind, a good coach is someone that's cheering me on anyways, okay? So we can change and progress faster with love and encouragement, because that's the idea, right? The reason why we criticize ourselves, because we think it's humble, but then also we think that's going to help me change. But really, does it? Okay. If we want to change and progress, we need to give ourselves love and encouragement, okay? When we make mistakes, we feel bad. There's a natural consequence. It's sufficient. We don't have to rub it in. Okay, so criticism always breeds discouragement and insecurity. Okay, we can do self-correction. Hey, self, that wasn't right. Okay, but that's not criticism, because criticism is very conclusive. This is who you are. You're a loser. You're the worst. Okay, it's very conclusive, so you don't get out of it. That's a label. Okay, so it always breeds discouragement and insecurity. So let's encourage ourselves, okay? Encouragement motivates and drives action, okay? Divine inspiration moves heart. So that's why I encourage everyone to connect to God, okay? And feel Him. And when it moves your heart, okay, it drives you to change. Commit to being the best cheerleader for yourself first, and then for others. So whenever I feel down or discouraged, okay, that's probably the inner voice telling me that I should be discouraged. I stop and I rebuke it and I say, okay, I can. I will. Okay, sometimes I say it and my kids see me, right? And they like to chant with me too. They're like, you can, mama, you can. And I'm like, thanks, you guys. Okay. So you will be more decisive and trusting when you are safe from your own criticism. When you quit criticizing yourself, you're not worried about other people criticizing you. And even if they do, it doesn't stick, because it's their opinion and it's none of your business, okay? So if you are here and you really want to fire that critic and you really want to hire the cheerleader so you can make better decisions, okay, use cheer oil, elevation, forgive, citrus bliss oils, okay? Those are the oils that I feel you can start with to help you start being your best cheerleader. So how do we know that we are confident and decisive? Okay, we will experience peace, power, and purpose. Our body will be healthier, especially the gut, because you're balancing the energy. Your gut gets its share of its energy. Okay, so things will go and flow better. Your head feels better. Hips and legs feel better. Okay, and you no longer rely on others to help you decide. You don't sit back and wait until people tell you what to do. You make your own decisions and you're self-motivated. Okay, and then you really feel freed and uniquely yourself. So there you go. I hope that these things help you be more decisive and more trusting, okay? If you don't already have a wholesale account with doTERRA, talk to the person who sent you this video. It's fantastic. With $35, you have a wholesale account for the whole year, okay? And if you choose a kit, the $35 membership fee is waived. You get 25% off retail prices, so you're buying everything at wholesale, and you can participate in the free product promotions. So talk to your doTERRA friend and ask them if there's any promotions this month. When you become a doTERRA member, there's no obligations to buy. You can buy whenever you want to. There's options where you can earn shipping points, and there's options where you can earn up to 30% of what you order back in points, so you can redeem them for free products. Okay, so talk to your friend about that. When your year is up, and if you want to renew your doTERRA membership, it's only $25 and you get a free peppermint oil. The other exciting thing about having a wholesale account with doTERRA is that you have an option to earn income. Okay, so talk to your doTERRA friend about this. If something in this video makes you feel like you want to talk to somebody, okay, and explore more stuff, you're welcome to book an appointment with me or one of the Earth Angel practitioners. Okay, so go to that link and book a time. I'm happy to do a 1-hour energy balancing session with you. We can chat online, but if you're local, we can meet face to face. Together, we can discover and release negative trapped emotions. We can help reprogram you as you get rid of the negative patterns. We can show you how to use essential oils to help you heal faster and balance your energy overall. In our session, we can discover the root causes of our physical health problems. In the end, we want to feel happier, lighter, and freer. When we do this well, we have a clearer direction moving forward. And there's so many more benefits. Just book a time and you'll find out. So go ahead and click on that link. If you are familiar with energy balancing, I invite you to join me in this course. The Energy Balancing with Faith course is available on this website here. It is a 7-week online self-guided course. If you have 2 to 3 flexible hours a week, you can watch the videos and do the quizzes. When you finish, you can have lifetime access to the course. Anytime you need to, you can go back to the course, okay? And you have access to the future content updates also. When you enroll in the online course, you qualify for a $100 off the in-person retreats. Every week, we meet on Zoom for a live Q&A. So as a community, we get together and we chat and we ask questions. So you get that support too. This month, you get the Energy Balancing with Faith manual and the workbook for free. And you'll also get the downloadable version of the workbook for free. Okay, so that's awesome. One of my favorite benefits is you get to be part of the Earth Angel community. We get together, we love on each other, we support one another, and we grow together. All this for $275, and it's worth over $2,750. I hope you join me in this Energy Balancing with Faith course. Click on that link and join us. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Please visit my website where you can find my published works, my books, the essential oil, affirmation cards, and so much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And please comment below and share this video with your friends. All right, that's all from me. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye for now.